lot of stuff with my phone, man. I even changed the name of this thing. I did a lot of stuff on it. I'll tell you what, I'll be working on the name again later. But wow, what it takes to go live in this world. I had a couple bars on my phone. You would think, tethering it all up, you would think it would work. This guy's trying not to hit somebody. We're gonna see how this works out. He may have already. I'm gonna kick back for a second and drink on my coffee. If anybody wants to come in and say hello, you're welcome to do so. Hey, hi, how you doing? Hope everybody's doing good. I'm gonna be doing good. Yeah, it's been some sucky weather, but it's getting better. Us drivers are just out here in the ice and snow and freezing cold and dropping and hooking and freezing and looking, you know. But a lot of stuff popping off in the world. I figured I'd talk about a little of it. This is an extension of what I didn't want to talk about the other night, but now it's been reported and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I can go there. I see I got one in the room. If you're not the strong silent type, make a comment, say hello, say what's up. Yeah, there's some things going on where you know, these countries, basically the countries that are supposed to be under sanctions have all decided that they're going to play in their own sandbox. They're trying to get together and run their own little thing. So if you think of socialism, where they take over countries, all of the companies that manufacture anything, and then it's owned by the government, if you think of that and you think of communism, they're able to play checkers if they just play within their own country. Or chess, but it's not Monopoly. You can't play with a lot of other players if you're running like that. And there's some stuff going on where they've decided to try to, instead of using the US dollar, they've tried to use euros, and they're trying to trade gold. So Maduro decided to take Venezuela's gold and put it on the open market, and by everybody's best guess on it, better than just a best guess, that was a broker that was from France, I believe it was, that went down there specifically to get the gold for the United Arab Emirates, which the UAE, they're supposed to be recognizing the sanctions, but it's one of the things where, you know, you get gold involved, everybody wants it. It's kind of crazy. There were airplanes down in Caracas, Venezuela, that are a Russian airliner, which you got to think too, that's a socialist, communist dictatorship, whatever you want to call it, where they own the oil. Well, they've tried to own all the oil companies. What they try to do is Russia tried to blame everybody of corruption and take over their all the mineral, you know, all the producers of anything over there, and all the mineral rights and that kind of stuff. And it's run by a lot of rich people who they call the oligarchs. So keeping that in mind, they likely run that air transport, that it's a public airline, but it's probably run by them. And to have 3 of them down in Caracas, Venezuela, where nobody flies to anyways, and you can never book a trip from Russia to there or Russia back, they've been using those airplanes for, you know, special trips is what it is. And I talked about it the other day, Yeah, this guy's fixing to hit this other guy, so he's flashing his lights at him. That's what that was. I talked about it the other day, and it's kind of crazy, because when they wanted people to think that there was only 2 planes and that they were waiting to get loaded up in Caracas, Venezuela, a number 3 flight, or you could actually say a number 1 flight, had already left there. So it left there January the 30th. So 20 to 22 tons of gold had already left by the time they even made it look like they were going to be loading gold up. Plus, Russia is mining gold out of there now. So, but they're supposed to be under sanctions, and so they decided to go under, which I said in my last video, probably euros. They decided to sell it for euros, not just because euros are worth more money, but because if you have sanctions by the United States government on you, you don't want to be trading in a promissory note, which is basically like a check that the United States could say, oh, we don't accept that money, and none of our companies can accept money from there, and they can find out the serial numbers on them. They can, they can say it's no good. It's a promissory note, oh, except for the people for the country. Or they could, I know that there was something going on where they were saying that it was the same type of paper. I know they don't have the exact same printing presses, but that something to the effect of that the Venezuelan Bolivar was written on the same type of paper, except they don't have the Levi's, they don't have the little red and blue strips in there. The Levi's company does that just for the United States, to have our money. But it, like Saddam Hussein was creating super notes, okay, $100 bills that were printed on the same printing presses. He had the printing presses were the same from like Switzerland. So it's called economic warfare. There's all different kinds of economic warfare, but Saddam Hussein was waging economic warfare against us with printing up what they called super notes, because they were so close to real notes. Well, there's been some talk of them doing that with the Bolivar, with the Venezuelan government doing that. But the thing is, even if they had real American money, they wouldn't be able to use it. And if it was put in a bank somewhere, it would be held. So they somehow have got to find a bank to put, I don't know how many euros in, unless they're just going to go ahead and buy stuff with it and have it shipped into the country. It's kind of crazy. But that number 1 flight, it could have landed, I know that it picked up, it started in Russia, okay? It actually started in Moscow, okay? And then it landed in Caracas, Venezuela, stayed there for 2 days, and left on January the 30th. So that plane, let me turn this down a little bit, that plane could have taken who knows what, arms, mercenaries, whatever, into Caracas, dropped them off, and got loaded up with the gold, and already been gone by the time they thought that those other 2 planes were going to bring gold back. Now, you're talking about a passenger airline, you're talking about a passenger jet, but those things have been proven, even the bigger ones, to be able to fly upside down, to be able to haul a lot of weight. The largest amount of weight that I have known of so far has been a Boeing 747B. That thing's big, but let me tell you about the weight they put on it. They bolted a bunch of steel plates to the floor of it just to proof of concept that they could haul under 1 million, like it was supposed to be able to haul 900,000 pounds. They wanted to bring it up to 1 million. So they put a bunch of steel plates in the floor of it, and it lifted off with 1 million pounds of steel on it. Just the load, 1 million pounds. That's heavy. When they call sign coming in, their call sign, and they say heavy, means that they're a big plane. That one was heavy. So that's a Boeing 747B though. The Nordwind Airlines though, it's a Russian Russian-owned passenger jet. Those jets should be able to carry 20 to 22 tons. I think that's why they limited that, because I think that maybe Venezuela has more gold than that, and it was not released from the Bank of England. That Bank of England held on to that gold. There's a lot more gold in there that they won't give Venezuela. So he's getting euros for it. That's Maduro. And who knows what he's going to use it for. Because once gold is sold, especially if you give him a discount, they figure that he probably gave him a 3 to 5, maybe even 7% discount on that gold. 15 people could have touched it. The broker from France, that dude, I'm pretty sure they said it was from France, the middleman to make the deal, he is going to make a lot of money. Russia is going to make a lot of money. The United Arab Emirates is going to make a lot of money. And they're going to be able to melt that gold down, and who knows where it goes at that point. They can do what they want with that bullion. But yeah, that plane was a secret plane. It left before the two you hear about on the news. So it left, and it had already been in Caracas, Venezuela for 2 days. It left on the 30th of January. And there are photographs of it taking off from Caracas, Venezuela, and photographs of it landing in Moscow. So anybody wants to debunk that, I got that covered. You know, no worries. But I'm not going to be on this forever. I just wanted to do that. I really was going to do a live on the ancestry thing. That ancestry DNA, I'll just slide this into this one and make it one video. And anybody wants to talk about anything, we could talk, we could chat. But people, don't buy into that ancestry DNA stuff. I knew at some point somebody was really going to make it crash down and show it for the sham that it really is. And it makes people feel good to think that they're from something. The truth is, it won't show up any Native American genes. So even if I got tested, it wouldn't show. There was one woman who was part Native American. That was the only bloodline they had. And then since the different courthouses in a few different places burned down, the records were all lost. They allow you to basically get the last person that's on the Dow's rolls or the scrolls, and then a copy of their birth certificate if possible. But if they're on the rolls, their children that would be your ancestor have that person's birth certificate, and then the marriage license to the other person, and then that person's birth certificate if possible. But you go along the bloodline of that, and that'll tell you, you know, you can prove your Native American heritage and become part of a tribe at that point. They do have elders that is over enrollment. My great uncle they wanted him to be an elder, so, you know, over enrollment or whatever. So the thing is, you can still prove that because of the, you know, places that burned down. But you're not going to find that on Ancestry DNA. You're also not going to find, well, you're not going to find much else. They lie. About 50% of what they send out to people is made up. So I was going to do a whole video on that, but I can just drop it in right here. You know, they had a set of identical twins go after this mess, and they said, we're going to try every single one of them, and their results were all different. Not from one company to another, those were different too, but from each other. Their own identical, genetically identical twin was different as far as a match to Ancestry DNA test of where their people came from. Now, the haplogroup from what part of South America that you may show up from, if people's got relatives that were in, you know, Africa, South America, some of that is legit, okay? Some of the genetic info that they give you from, whether you're from, you know, I would say, man, I want to say like from like the Mongolian area. Here's why. Here's why I would say that's legit. That's the only two I would say, because they could just say European and that's easy. They come up with their own. They add what they think to it. It's not even all science, and they put on there that it's only the default setting is 50% accurate. So it's a lie in the first place. So 50% is like flipping a coin. But there's one man that they can trace almost everybody out of is it Indochina? Wherever the area is. Don't hold me to the area. Just hear what I'm saying. This is the truth of it. And they think they know what man he was. And here's why. Because no one man from that era, from that age, they know how far DNA goes back and about what year it was. No one person could it have possibly been except for one man. Because he went across and destroyed and pillaged and everything else and made lots of children along the way. His name was Genghis Khan. So they can trace a lot of people's DNA back just because of Genghis Khan, but they can also tell you if you are a direct descendant from him, because they believe that they have figured out his exact DNA marker that is different from him and people before him and no one else. So that's not exactly, I don't think that Ancestry DNA does that exactly. I believe that's a separate test, but it's a big thing over there for people to do that test and say, I'm the great grandson of Genghis Khan. You know, it's a big deal because they've been told their whole lives by their parents and grandparents that they are. But to now be able to go prove it, they like being able to go prove it. So, but the rest of it, like I said, those twin women that tested their DNA against Ancestry and all these other companies, they got different results from each other. The whole thing is a sham. The default setting on Ancestry, if you look at the bottom, it's 50%, and even if you go to 100%, they're not going to give you much info. The rest of it's made up. So even if it was 50%, they should have gotten the exact same results. One of them is descended from one country, another one is descended from another. They had a few similarities. So they can lie all they want. They can take your money, and if it makes you feel good to get an Ancestry test, go ahead, but it's not accurate, it ain't right, it ain't true, and it ain't proper. So I just want to put this out here. Anybody want to say anything, go ahead. I'm showing numbers up and down, and I can't tell who all's in the room or what's going on, and it's been freaky because I haven't had signal. I tried to go on this, but yeah, so that's where I'm at, looking at the lies of the world. So, but yeah, and back to the Venezuela thing. You know, you can check flight radar, okay? Anybody that can go on the internet, you can research this for yourself. You can find out about that secret plane. And like I was saying, it could have went over to Moscow, touchdown. It could have been wheels down and wheels up and gone again. And it could have took that gold right to the UAE. So, with a fresh set of pilots, it would have took a fresh set of pilots to have gotten it there. So, yeah. So, like I was saying, anybody that's got internet that you want to look this up about that flight, you know, you can look up every plane has to register. Well, you don't have to. It's advised to register a flight plan, but you're supposed to have a registration number for a flight, not just a call sign. Call sign is for the plane. Registration number is for that flight. So, also so that, you know, no other country thinks it's something nefarious or bad coming flying over their country. It's just a plane, you know. So if you want to look it up, And if you're internet savvy, and if you just want to debunk me, before anybody might make any stupid comments about it, I'll give you some letters. Get a piece of paper out and get ready to write right now. No worries. I'll give you a second. I got a couple in the room. So get a piece of paper out and get a pen out and be prepared to write. I'll give you some phonetics real quick. Hello, I'm new here. That's Horsefly 22. Yeah, I'm new here too. I'll be leaving here in just a little bit. You know, I was just talking about everything that's going on and talking about, I got into ancestry too, but because that's a sham. But it's not a scam, because they give you something good for your money. It's just not really good information. It's just something that makes you feel better. But anyways, I wanted to put it out there though about the flights. I had named it something different. They were secret flights, and the first one left on the 30th. And so if you got your pen and paper out, especially a strong silent type, okay, the ones that don't want to make comment, whatever, welcome to the NSFA. Get you something to write with. I've got you something to write down right now. So Horsefly, since you chimed in, let me know when you got something to write with. I'll give you some intel if you want to look it up, and you can try to debunk me too. I don't mind sharing what I've got, because, you know, hey, they're going to ask me anyways. How do you know? How could you possibly? What do you know? Okay then. All right, so let me know when you got something to write with. Meantime, I'll have a sip of coffee. The weather's getting better too. Looks like we'll be able to run and make $1. I'm looking to get a newer truck. Don't know about anybody else. I hope you're spiraling upwards. Might be putting a team in this one. Hey, if you're gonna go big. That'll be truck number 3. I have another one, but it's inoperable. So that's how that goes. I'm not chasing $1 to get a donut. I'm not gonna throw a bunch of money away. They call it throwing good money after bad. I'm just gonna let it sit until I decide what I'm gonna do. But yeah, let me know when you got something to write on. Now I got 4 in the room. Number 4, you got to get something to write to. 5 in the room. See, that's what they do to me. They jack my numbers around. Anybody you want to, let me know when you got something to write on. A piece of paper and a pen. So. First one to make a comment that they got something to write on. Let's see what we got here. Bitcoin forever. Icon get something to write on. I'm giving out intel. Bitcoin forever. Yeah, them gold bars are forever too, man. You can melt them down, send them to damn Russia, send them to United Arab Emirates. You never know. It's like the blood diamonds. You don't know where they're coming from, right? Or where they're going. So, yeah, the United Arab Emirates was the beneficiary, I believe, of that. And they got money and they're wanting to buy it. But, you know, them doing that kind of negates us having sanctions on the places. You got something to write on, Icon? First one that says it, I'm gonna give out, and then you can debunk me all you want to. I'll give it out phonetically. Just go online and check out the radar. I got their damn call sign. You got it? Okay, here we go. Victor, Papa, Bravo, Juliet, Gamma. So, Victor, Papa, Bravo, Juliet, Gamma, VPBJG. Now, you're welcome to debunk me if you want to. The secret flight, guess what? That's the registration number of the flight. And it took off 2 days before they wanted to talk about it. From Caracas, Venezuela, there's pictures of it taking off and there's pictures of it landing in Moscow. You can dig the internet all you want. You type that in and you will find, if you go to flight radar and track it, it will tell you where it started and where it ended. That's not the call sign of the airplane itself. That's the flight plan. That's the flight number, the registration number. So they have nothing marked about how many people were on board or what was on board. So they basically, they took a jet and they put cargo on it, gold. So like I was saying, you can fly 1 million pounds of gold on one of those big commercial style, big large airplanes. You know, they've already proved it. They bolted plates to the bottom, and that was just a test for them. That was no big deal for them. You know, they were doing it just to show that it would hold 900,000 pounds. But that was 1 million pounds that they flew to test a Boeing 747B. They bolted steel plates onto the bottom of it. They took all, you know, no seats or nothing in that Boeing 747B. And then, you know, I mean, because a C-130 will hold a lot. The C-130J, the Hercules, you know, C-130 and C-130J. Airbus A400M will hold a lot. These were smaller jets, but they can hold a lot. You know, I'm not sure what the fuel mileage was, and I know it's a long flight just to get to Moscow, but I think Moscow was a stop off. I think it was a hop, skip, and a jump to get to the UAE to get that gold there. So, yeah, so basically, they got around the sanctions, and they're using that, and they're getting euros. And there's more gold that's being mined in Venezuela, but Venezuela has more gold because that was just what they reserved and let out of their country. And then they have all the gold over there at the Bank of England that the Bank of England will not release until the other president is recognized and let to run the country. So anybody that's not following us on the internet, there you go. You want to debunk me? I gave you the numbers phonetically. It don't get much easier than that. Look it up, check out the flight plan, and be like, holy shit, it's right, you know. So other than that, I'm gonna be dipping out of here in a bit. Icon, thank you for stepping in. I was just chatting, you know, how things go. You see stuff on the internet and they're not gonna believe this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole nother secret flight before the other two flights that are even supposed to be not well known about. Those two planes were sitting on the tarmac in Caracas, Venezuela, and a whole other plane had already went to Moscow. But they knew about it. You know, you didn't know about it. I didn't know about it for, well, but then I found out about it. You know, that's how it goes. So I expect there to be more flights. There was never been, you can't charter a flight from Venezuela straight to Moscow. They don't sell tickets. They don't fly that way. It's just not how they fly. There's never been air commercial transport from Venezuela straight to Russia, period. There is now, but it's private, secret, super secret. You know, so I think the other two planes, because you gotta think, from the easternmost point of the United States, it's a difficult trip to get over even to the Middle East. So from Venezuela, it's a long trip just to get to Moscow. So that's taxing on a pilot. That's a lot to ask just to do all that. And so from there, they probably put new pilots on it, and they probably didn't even offload it. They just probably fueled it and took off again. You know, fresh horses. So, and it probably has already been in the UAE. So this guy's gonna lose that back pallet. Check this out. Check that out. He's gonna lose that back pallet. That's crazy. Let me turn that back on. Sorry about the beeping noise. That happens every time I mess with my switch. So, anybody wants to say anything, you know, or if you're strong silent type, you know, make a comment. Say, hey, how you doing? I'm gonna dip out of here. It was just time to go live. Little something intel that, you know, got skipped over. Super secret. Yeah, well, our people knew about it. That's all that mattered. They can't hide much. Kind of hard to hide a big, fully loaded airplane that nobody's paid for a ticket on. You know, that part's almost laughable. But I was wondering why they didn't put it on a ship. I guess they really wanted it out of there fast. That's why I thought something was about to pop off down there for sure. Because I mean, quick, because they were wanting that stuff out of there. And now it seems like I don't know what Maduro is going to do with that money. You know, his people are going over into Colombia and walking across the border and walking back with diapers and stuff. And they're shooting them in the streets, by the way. It's a new thing. It's all over Twitter. I could drop a link to the Twitter thing on here, but I don't know if you'd get to it. But I guess you'd call them police, but they're in riot gear and they're all dressed up, goggles and everything. They go and grab somebody, pull them out of their house. They're on motorcycles now. They're not planning to put him in a car. They pull him out of the house and they shoot him in the street. What'd you ever do about your bunk heater? Bunk heater is still Tango uniform. That's what's up. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get my bunk heater replaced. Whole new bunk heater, whole new casing, whole new Freightliner wrapped around it. I'm looking to get a 2019, and while I'm driving it, they can fix this fucking, you know, bucket with, well, it's 2016, it's decent, but they can fix this bunk heater back here, and then they can put 2 drivers in it for me, and I will help out a driver that can't get financing. That's what's going to happen with that, until I've completely paid this one off, like my other one. Let's see, and then I'm gonna drive a new one. Sorry, couldn't find the video. Let's go down to Colombia. Icon, you would say that mess. Okay, let me tell you something, Icon. Every time I'm getting coffee, I think about this. There's only 2 things that come from Colombia, and one of them's coffee. Every time I get coffee and it says Colombian, I'm hoping it's just coffee. You know what I'm saying? That would be a 1,000-mile run. Why am I not tired yet? Yeah. I always worry about that. I'm like, man, thank God for paper filters, but I've been drinking coffee out of these new, I call them Kona machines. Yeah, but I think about that every time I get coffee, I swear to God. I'm like, there ain't but 2 things that come from Colombia. I hope he didn't mix that shipment up. So, yeah, well, okay. You know, maybe you need to go to Colombia, Icon. You know, get you a flight. I'm just saying. You could, evidently you can fly from Moscow now. No, you could skip over from there. I would tell you, Colombia, they have said there's been people that have gone down there and it's dangerous, way dangerous. It's a weird culture too. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one where even men, just to make money, dress up and try to do modeling stuff. Let's see. Pick up some 20 later. Well, you're gonna need your own jet, and at that point you're gonna need to be independently wealthy. So I hope you are, because I mean, I work for a living. I got a few things that, you know, seem to be going good. Hey, even my YouTube is going good. Did y'all know I got commercials on here? It's been kind of good. Share my videos because they actually help. It's enough money for a little bit of coffee now and then. No, it actually does pay me some, and maybe by the time I'm retired, maybe it'll pay me a little more. But you gotta work for a living unless you got money like that. Now, if you got money like that, hey, go on down to Colombia, buy whatever you buy. Get you it, like I said. Hey, I've looked at who all owns jet airplanes. It's, let me tell you, people. Look, Harrison Ford, which he's gotten in some trouble about his landing efforts. But let's see. I'm poor, but I play a rich person on TV. I'm telling you, Icon. Look, I'm just a trucker, but I play like I know something on YouTube, and I teach some people how to work on them, right? and I put this out, you know, intel off the internet. So it seems to be, I don't know, seems to be a little something, you know. Some people, so the thing is, I'm trying to make a finishing school for truck drivers. They give them a CDL, they toss them out, they, you know, smack them on the tail and get them going. Attaboy, right? It's a license to learn, and there's a lot to it. So anybody that doesn't know my channel, don't watch anything. Just watch the Fix It vids and Trucking Tips, those 2 playlists. Anything else is just me, and I do what I do, but I put all the mechanical stuff in there. So if you like the rest of it, that's great too. But yeah, yeah, we all got to work. We all got to make a living. Man, how can it possibly get hot here when it's so cool outside? I think it's the coffee. I drank some warm coffee. So, but yeah, if you look at, like I was talking about the jet airplanes, these people are uber rich, man. People have money like is ungodly amounts of money. I have never heard of such a thing. That Oprah Winfrey's got an airplane that's bigger than any of them. I think it's even bigger than Donald Trump's. I don't know. I'm not gonna get no contest started between them two or nothing. I'm just saying, for real, she's got a massive, it's the biggest plane, one of the biggest ones you can buy. I'm talking about my damn bunk heater. Horsefly wants to talk about the bunk heater. Okay, Horsefly, let me give you a heads up. I'll tell you 2 things. I paid $300 for Freightliner to half-ass check it. They then decided it was only daytime thing that could be fixed. He didn't have a thing to plug up to it, so he didn't want to change the no flame detect, even though I told him that's what it was, so they're idiots. And if you're leased to a company and they have worked on them before, take it there, and there's 2 bolts that hold it to the bottom of the bunk. It's out of warranty. So you could do it yourself if you really wanted to, but most times it's the flame detect sensor and it could be cleaned out a bit, but carbon builds up on the thing too. But just keep this in mind. Let them do it. There's a video on it. Actually, gotta do it. Horsefly, I will put a link up to that video. Let's see. Hey, they found Amelia's plane. Oh, Amelia Earhart. Yeah, maybe. So, but as far as the bunk heater, you're better off if you're leased to at a company or a company driver that they can take it apart if they worked on before, and they will know because they work on that specific truck all the time. Freightliner seems to be like trying to say it's aftermarket and it's not covered under your warranty even from day one, so it's bullshit. So they should have covered it, but they don't. So there's no coverage on it. So like I said, there's a couple bolts that hold it down to the floor. First, there's 4 bolts that hold a cover on it. Then a couple bolts hold it to the floor. You got to get up under there and you unhook the 2 fuel lines, okay? One going in, one coming out for a return, okay? I believe it's 2. Pretty sure it's 2. I think they're even rubber fitting with clamps and stuff. Then you're going to take and unhook the wire that has it. You can take the whole thing out of your bunk and put it on a workbench. Then you're going to take and the 4 bolts that hold the front part to the back or middle part come apart, and you can get in there. But really, it's only the sensor. The sensor's right on top for no flame detect anyways. So if you can't get them to work on it, and you know, you can leave it at your company. Even tell them, say, take the thing out, whatever, you know, plug up the holes, duct tape the little bitty holes that are back there, and leave it on their workbench and say, I'll be back in 5 or 6 hours, fix it, you know, plug off the fuel lines. So, but anyways, but back to the planes. Yeah, Oprah has a very expensive plane. She's got, like, man, you talking millions. And then Harrison Ford's got like 4 or 5, I believe. You're putting, well, I'm looking at that, Horsefly. I don't know what that means. So let me know. But Harrison Ford has a bunch of, he's gotten what's called, well, he's got court to go to, and it's been put off and put off because there's so many people ahead of him. But the, I guess it's the FAA, whoever gives you a ticket for almost landing on a commercial plane by getting the wrong runway. Let's see, how about debunking the bunk heater? I just told you, man. So, you know, he almost landed on, he thought that a taxiway was a runway, and he almost landed on it. Hell, he's getting older, you know. Anyways, but he still wants to fly, and he's flown some stuff. He flew supplies down to help out after the tsunami down in Indonesia, and flew some doctors down there and that kind of stuff. And he flew quite a few flights all in a row, you know, back and forth like running sorties or something. So he was instrumental in helping. And So I'm with him. I hope he beats his tickets because he's made a lot of mistakes and he's got a lot of courts that once he goes to, hopefully they'll give him a warning. Donald Trump's got a big old plane. It was a used passenger jet, and then he fixed it up with millions of dollars. It's crazy. They showed videos on how picky he was with fixing up the inside. Let's see, he put, hello, come in. I see you. You're wanting help, and I told you about that. I told you, man, look, those bunk heaters are not under warranty. Thanks for covering this, man. Venezuela music. Yeah, hey, I'm just telling you how it is, man. They're taking your gold, man. You know, they're taking your gold. And Maduro's gonna live like a fat cat if he lives. I'm not gonna tell you whether he will or not. I guess that's up to just how good the security people are and, you know, just what all he tries to do. So, yeah, Horsefly, it's not under warranty, so you're gonna pay for it, and they can take it out and fix it on a bench, and you can leave it, or you can, like I was saying, because it's, you know, it's an aftermarket thing anyways, what they're calling it. They may need to be able to plug up to it later with it hooked up to your control thing on the back, though, because the control thing works it. But most companies, they know if it's no flame detect, they change that sensor and they don't have to take it out. So I don't know who you're leased to. If you're not leased to anybody, make sure it's a daytime person at Freightliner, because the nighttime people don't know shit. Find a place if it's a Freightliner. Okay, let's see, covering this for all 3 people in here. I'm covering this for anybody who will see it later, because I'm a trucker. I got a lot of people who are truckers that watch what I talk about, and they will come in later or periodically, and it's on the internet forever. I'm doing a live so that people get the chance to beat me up, like you, Horsefly, and and so that people can you know, kind of connect if they want to, or they can take it or leave it, and then they can watch it later, and I don't have to upload it and worry about editing or anything else. It's a hard time to get streamed sometime, but I'm doing it for, think of it for posterity, you know. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Oh, problem with the button. So, anyways, let's see here. All right, so Venezuela music puts, yeah, I hate those communists. I shared this on my Facebook, but I think people are sleeping. Yeah, they'll catch it later, bro. They will catch it later. Make a comment later, Venezuela music. I'll see what you're about, and I might even subscribe to your channel, but I'll definitely check it out. Let's see, I'm Mexican, about to start a trash fire in this truck. I'm freezing. That's where you at? Yeah. Or audio recording. No, it's not super chat only deal. No, I got your comment. And hold on a second, it went away for a second though. All the comments went away. Hold on. Let's see here. No, Horsefly. You put, this must be a super chat only deal or a audio recording. No, I'm live. You know, I can move the camera around if I wanted to, but I'm leaving it here on the mount on my dash, and I read the comments, but I was going over a subject. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, as far as your heater, I don't know where you're at. If you have Trucker Path as an app, check it out on your phone. Find the nearest Freightliner dealership. TA is not worth a damn for a bunk heater, but if you can idle your truck, start your truck and set cruise control on, and then hit set and see if it will idle. Make sure your valves are pulled for your brakes, both of them. Sometimes that'll kick it off. So try to idle your truck, set up for idling. If you're leased to a company and they have it jacked up on you like that, you can take lighten a match, I guess. Wish me luck. Only had 2 miles from help. Hope I don't die. No. Hear what I'm saying. Your truck may be able to idle for you, okay? But if you're at a company, send them a message and tell them they need to get somebody out there right now if they've got it set up so it don't idle. So it's either one way or another. If you're an owner-operator, your company can even help you that you're leased to. So Trucker Path is owned by the Chinese now. Yeah, I think they're messing with it. I think they're seriously messing with it. The Chinese are messing with everything. Hell, they put lead paint in baby toys. They are thinking of a 100-year plan to make us retarded so they can invade. You know, they bought a shipping place. It used to be a military base out there in California, and then they brought too much stuff there that they weren't supposed to. And you couldn't even go there, you know, because they owned it. Then they took a container ship and dumped a whole bunch of supposedly stuff that they were supposed to be taking to China to destroy because it was bad for the environment, and they dumped it in the ocean. So yeah, Chinese is into all kinds of stuff. They're putting they're putting things that cause cancer in backpacks that you even see for sale at the truck stop. Look at the tag on it. It says may cause cancer in California, and that don't just mean if you live in California. So let's see here, next comment here. Hold on, let me run this Petro and check it. Now I like the match. Horsefly, you need to make sure if your truck will idle. Horsefly, let me know if you're a company or not. If you're a company, you need to call your company. They need to fix it immediately, okay? They can't leave you like that. If you're owner-operator, it shouldn't be set so it don't idle. And even if you're a company, it may be set so that you can idle. So hit the cruise control on and hit set. Oh, my bad, LL, this chat ain't working. Sorry, fella. Okay. Well, I can read your comments. Okay. So let's see here. I'm gonna go back to this other one though. Let's see. Yeah, I uploaded a few videos on my channel against Maduro with information of what's going on here on Venezuela, which he meant in Venezuela. I translated those videos to English so everybody can understand. Okay, then I'll subscribe to your channel. That sounds good enough for me. When this becomes a video, Venezuela music, I need you to make a comment after this goes up as a video, because all of these comments will disappear. I need you to make a comment when this comes a video so I can find your channel. But I will write it down now in case you don't, and I'll try to find you. I'll subscribe to you, because that's what people in America want, is the truth about what's going on. We've seen videos on Twitter of what's going on where they're taking people out into the streets on motorcycles. They never had a plan to take them to jail. Then they're shooting them. After they beat them up, they shoot them. They've already been shot once. They shoot them again to make sure that they're dying. And then they leave while they're writhing in pain in the street and they die. So we see what's going on. And we've seen them throw them in the back of the pickup trucks too. Venezuela music, you know. So I'm gonna try to find your channel. Let's see here. When your chat working later. Yeah, I'm reading your chat, Horsefly. I'm reading your chat if you can hear me. Maybe I'll catch you next time when your chat working later. Turn your volume up. You know what I'm saying? Icon 2020 said at Horsefly 22 reload the page. Venezuela music, Guaido is trying to avoid Maduro take the gold out or making negotiations with it because he is no president anymore. Your information will be useful. Sure, I will comment. Yeah, the little comment you'll make will just help me find your channel. It could be any kind of comment. You could just put, hey, this is me. Whatever you want to comment when this goes up as a video. And then, let's see, Horsefly 22. I did, he can't see the comments. No, I'm reading your comment, Horsefly 22. It says, I did, he can't see the comments. You want to know about the bunk heater. I was sitting here telling you the whole time. Venezuela music, thank you, buddy. Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, look. The U.S. wouldn't have a position on your country if we weren't interested in trade and you know, having some kind of trade relations with y'all, you know. And I'm just a truck driver, but everything affects everything. People just don't know that. So, you know, of course, if we're trading with somebody, another country, even if it's Mexico, even if there's bad people in Mexico, we're still trading with them, you know. Then, you know, we're supposed to be working together, and the people have no choice in it. They're just along for the ride. So I'm writing it down now though. Venezuela music. Venezuela music. I'm also on Twitter. Do you go on Twitter? Let's see. My bunk heater messing up just like yours. What they do to fix it. LL, my bad. I was in and out. My apologies. Yeah, no worries. You'll hear in the video later, Horsefly. I was answering you the whole time. Look, Horsefly. I'll go over it again. Horsefly. If you're a company driver, your company may have set up your truck so it doesn't idle. If it does idle, start the truck, make sure your valves are pulled for both brakes, turn the left button on your steering wheel on, off, turn it on so that the cruise control light comes on. Then the bottom button that says decelerate, DEC/set, hit set. Your truck should idle and you should have heat all night, okay? But if your company set it up so it won't idle more than 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, then you're going to be fighting it, and you need to go ahead and have them bring you a service person who can work on your truck or tell you where to go, and you go there. Even if you got to drop the trailer and PC mile there, whatever you got to do to make it so that you can go get into a shop and that they can, or put you in a hotel. They're going to have to put you up. You're a company driver. They got to take care of you so you're not freezing, okay? So go to a shop, and then the nearest one that can get you in and get it knocked out. It may be daytime person that can only work on that because they want to plug into it to see the exact sensor it is. But if it's no flame detect, they should be able to change the no flame detect sensor. But your company, you know, like I said, if you're with a company, they got to pay for your hotel room. If you're an owner operator, your truck should not be set in any kind of a way so that it does not idle. It should idle all night. Dude, I've been idling mine. They just jacked mine around and pulled, unplugged a sensor under my steering wheel that made it so I couldn't idle, so they had to fix it. So it's a sensor then. Yes, likely, depending on how many hours you have on that thing, it's always something. Those things are solid state. There's a drip, drip, drip of fuel. There's something that lights it up, and there's like, I think 3 or 4 sensors. I think there's 4 sensors on that unit. Believe it or not, you can buy an aftermarket Chinese one that looks exactly the same. You can find them online. There's reviews on them from YouTube, and you could actually replace it. But like I was saying, if your company, let's see, mine idles, I watched your video. That's awesome. Then you got heat, brother. You got heat, you know? So your truck does idle. You're not gonna freeze. You know what I'm saying? The only reason mine did not idle is because somebody, under there changing a brake switch, it's real easy to do, unplugged a different switch, and it's like if you hit the brake with your cruise control on and it turns the idle off, then if that thing's unplugged, it will never idle. He jacked me up. That's all right. That's all right. No worries. You know, what do you want me to say? Don't go to Chattanooga Freightliner, you know, whatever. Damn Chinese. Yeah, the damn Chinese. They made one though. They made one that may be better or just as good as the ones that we got, and it's cheap enough to replace it with. People are putting them in houses. Listen to me, people. Preppers, people trying to save money, poor people, they're buying those Chinese diesel heaters and they're putting them in houses because they're safe. They got a little controller you gotta buy. You hook it up and it just blows a port into the house and the other part's outside. They're using them like outside wood burning stoves. So it's crazy what they're doing. But as far as what they're putting in the backpacks and stuff like that, they're putting some bad stuff out there that hurts people. You know, lead and paint and baby toys causes brain malfunction. They're trying to make us stupid. I'm just being honest with you. They've got like a 100-year plan. They're teaching all their people, you know, how to do martial arts and stuff. And then, you know, but of course they're also messing up their own air. Beijing, all those places where there's a lot of industry, they are currently in their industrial age. We had an era a long time ago in the United States that was the industrial growth age, that we were making steel and using a lot of coal burn factories to build, and it was a lot of pollution. And so they're in that now. And but if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have scalpels, because of our EPA laws, we can't make a good scalpel. They come up with 770 grade stainless that is pure stainless. Because of our EPA laws, we can't even make that steel here. So every time there's a surgeon in an operating room in the United States using a scalpel, he's using Chinese-made scalpels because we can't make them. Our stainless is a little cheaper and it has metal in it, and a magnet will stick to it. Pure stainless, a magnet will stick to it, but that's good for us truck drivers because we can put a magnet on it on the outside of our truck, you know, and use it as a plate hanger for numbers. But let's see, I got another one here. Thanks, dude. 2015 579 Pete 10-4. Nothing I can fix here. Gotcha. What do you think about people saying they found Amelia's plane? Oh, okay, so he's saying that someone did say they found Amelia's plane. They've been saying they found a bottom of her shoe. Now, I mean, this is years back. I was checking out the Amelia Earhart thing for a long time. Icon 2020 put Heidi Key. I got you. So, I think, but a horsefly about Amelia Earhart's plane, there were all kinds of rumors that they found a bottom of a shoe, and there's an island down there that claims, hey, that she lived here or whatever for a little bit and survived the crash, and they said they found a plane similar to hers that was out there. You would have to definitely find a plate that said something that was related to a part number on that plane, and if they did, that's fine. But the thing is, she was in an air race once with a lot of other women pilots, and she was beaten in that air race by someone who had a slower plane than hers. Hers was a souped up plane. Nobody should have been able to have beat her, and she was beaten. There were better pilots that were women pilots in her time than Amelia Earhart. She's just the one they propped up and hyped up, and she knew people. That's all. You know, Lindenberg was a great pilot. They called her Lady Lindy though. But the truth is, she wasn't the greatest pilot. She just happened to be a woman pilot. You know, I seen it on Facebook recently. Found it under the water with a piece of glass customized for navigation. Oh, I got you. Well, Horsefly, I'm glad you got your truck going, dude. I'm glad you wasn't gonna freeze tonight. I'm glad I could tell you something that might help as far as the idling. As far as the bunk heater, they can be a pain to mess with, and you know, I got a shop waiting to take mine on. I just said, I'm gonna have my truck delivered there. I'm gonna be in a brand new truck. This new truck it's new, but it's not brand new. This one can go in there, and then you know, they can fix it for the team I put in. There you go. That you know, I'm doing some juggling between a few trucks. I'll make it happen. Hey, there's the truck I want right there. Can you see it to the left? Let's see. Yeah, you the man. I got you. I appreciate you saying I'm the man. I like that. Yeah, that's what I told that Russian guy, or I'm sorry, the guys from Yugoslavia. You know, it's Bosnia and Herzegovina, but there's no more Yugoslavia. They lost their country. It's kind of messed up. But this truck way over here, right here, that truck, that's what my new one will look like with them laser looking headlights and shit. So, anyways, yeah, roll this up here. Yeah, I try to help people when I can. So I'm really glad you got on my channel and found that you had an issue. And like I said, they will be able to fix that bunk heater though. They're pretty solid state. All they need is cleaned out and a few sensors. Every single thing in there can be changed out. You should come out of there less than $400 and done, honestly, because they ripped me off for the hour he put in and whatever, couple hours, 3 hours, whatever, and didn't know what he was doing. Didn't even have a sensor to the computer to plug up to it, and knew he didn't. That's, oh, day shift's got that thing. Then why the hell did you even touch it in the first place, was my question. I could have been making money. You know, I could be making money right now, but I'm talking to you people. Let's see. I went to the dealer in Jackson, Tennessee to get UAE reservoir. Okay, are you talking about water reservoir for your antifreeze? The KW dealer in Jackson, Tennessee to get the water reservoir? Is that what you're talking about? I'm fixing to have another water and coffee. My coffee reservoir is full. People, I fill up that's vitamin C. I've got a full tank of vitamin C. So, let's see here if I can find, I bought 2 waters and brought them out here. Is that the water reservoir you were talking about, dude? Make a comment on that. Let's see, and I found my other water. I found my reserved water stash. My other bottle. You drink well water. I have had well water when I was little. My great uncle, who was Cherokee, he had a well, and there's a well in, well, where my family has a big old piece of land up there. Windshield washer reservoir replaced, and they were supposed to look at bunk heater, but they said it worked, but it never did. They lied. Yeah, they'll lie to you in a minute, or they'll say that it's intermittent, they can't fix it. Yeah, they lie like hell. So if yours is a KW, I'll tell you who's KW. I know about the one in Georgia on 285. I can't tell you how their mechanics are today. Whatever company you're leased to, though, should be familiar with these bunk heaters, because they're the same. And if it's an espar, it's the same as a Freightliner. Don't go to Freightliner though, but I'm saying, because I've had some issues with that. 579P, that's the thing. Okay, well, is it a espar? Because it's a whole different deal, not covered under your warranty, it's aftermarket. So think of it like a step box. They can drill it to any frame, and that company can work on it, and anybody that can work on it can work on that. It's a whole different animal. Forget about your truck. Forget about the sticker on the front. Forget about the jerks that run the dealership with the sticker on theirs. Anybody that works on S-bars can work on it. So like I was saying, the daytime people, let's see, same as yours with same codes, you showed everything. Yeah, I showed everything I could. Okay, so check this out. It's always daytime that they have the code reader that hooks up to those units, because it's its own unit, okay? It's its own computer, or whatever you want to call it. So they always have the code reader, it seems like the people on day shift. Since it's a Peterbilt, I'm not going to say that anybody at Peterbilt works on those, and they're going to say it's aftermarket, and they're going to tell you it's not under warranty. I can tell you that now. So you got a choice. You could call them and ask if it's under warranty. I know my Freightliner didn't want to honor the warranty or have any kind of warranty on that. They called it an aftermarket thing. So take it, call Peterbilt first. Even tonight, you can ask them if it's under warranty, if they're open. And then go to the nearest one if it's under warranty, and if not, ask them if they have a mechanic in there that works on those specifically. That's the question. Where's a good mechanic for it? I'll tell you this, they're supposed to have mechanics day shift at Chattanooga Freightliner, but the night shift guy's the one that jacked mine up. So I would not say go there at night, because none of them can work on it at night. None of them. And nobody at a TA, as far as I know, can work on them. I'll almost tell you no. But all it is a damn sensor, and I think it mounts on top of it. You take the cover off, and then you take on top of it, there's a wire, and this thing is on top of it, and it's a flame detect thing, plugs in. So you're going to have to buy a flame detect sensor if you want to do it yourself. Take the cover off and take it apart until you find that sensor. That's what I would do. Just take one off from Warner. Werner ain't gonna like that much, but they had a dog in their truck that woke me up. I did a video. I ain't too happy with Werner myself. Take it, man, just do it. Look, I am not gonna incite people to, yeah, just take it. Yeah, that's funny. So I'm gonna get out of here in a minute though, guys. A couple minutes, I'm gonna be gone. So I gotta kind of wrap this thing up. Got to get a load delivered, got to get another load picked up and delivered. Let's see, just thought it may have been simple. My company will fix it, just gotta wait till service about 10,000 more miles. Just been aggravated over it, thanks. No, hey, drop in there now, piss on the service. This is a different deal. Listen, your service on your truck is an oil change, oil filter, grease in the truck, and all that bullshit. The bunk heater is a completely different animal. It's just like if you needed to go get new IFTA stickers or a new tag, or if there was something wrong with your pre-pass or your toll pass, you know, all that. It's different. Ask them if they're busy in the shop, and take your truck to that shop and plan on spending about 5 hours, and you might get out of there in 2. That's what I would say. If you got a company with a shop, they've worked on them before. And if you tell them it's the no flame detect, ask them, can they get that sensor? Yeah, but 50 a day for breakdown pay sucks. Yes, it does. You're right. You're right, man. I'll tell you what, find the terminal closest to your house, drop the truck there with already having it set up to go in there and already have a mechanic ready. Take a Uber to where you live and chill. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting paid $50 a day to be at, you know, Fort Living Room. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you for the info, buddy. I subscribe to your channel. We want Maduro out of here and in Guantanamo, as Bolton said. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about Guantanamo. There's a problem there. Just like Arlington is kind of full, there's a lot of people in line to go to Guantanamo. I think you're going to have to get in the back of the line. Let's see, Southeast Texas to Joplin, Missouri. Sure, LOL. Yeah. Okay. Well, so here's the thing. If you're going to be in Joplin, Missouri, I'm trying to think. Venezuela music laughing. He made a comment. Let's see. Joplin, Missouri has got. See, those guys are not really all full-on mechanics yet. They're just now getting to where they can put a rack on the front and do brake chambers and stuff, and oil, and I think they've been doing oil changes. Those are the guys that were on Trick My Truck, okay, on cable TV. Big Boss is still there. The guy that said tear down, he's not there anymore. The other guys are gone, but that's their shop, the 4-State Truck Parts, home of the Chrome Shop Mafia. I'm saying they're starting mechanics, but I don't think they can even do anything with the heater. There is a Petro there that has a shop. They're okay with their mechanics, but I don't know if they can work on a bunk heater. You could call them. And then there's another shop. I want to say there's a TA. Like I said, you got to find a mechanic shop that works on them. Let's see, your terminal. Yeah, I get that your terminal is in Southeast Texas, and then you're in Joplin, Missouri. So I'm saying, piss on the terminal. Find a shop in Joplin. You got me? Find you a shop in Joplin. You know? And then Icon put at Horsefly22 U Prime. Negative turtle moving cargo. So no, if it was Prime, it'd be I think a little bit past there, but they take care of they can work on their trucks and stuff, but yeah, they'll have you down too. Yeah, your terminal is in Joplin and you're in Texas, right? I'm just saying find the closest one to your house, or find a mechanic close to your house. So if you're gonna be down, at least you can get something done. Make it your wash day. Yeah, they as far as that bunk heater though, like I said, it's 4 bolts to take the cover off, and then he put right, yeah, right, you know, be at the house chilling. But there's 4 bolts to take the cover off. There is 2 bolts that hold the unit on, I believe it is, and then he put LOL tarp my cargo in TMC. There's 4 bolts that hold the cover on, two bolts I believe it is, maybe 4, that hold the unit down. But then you have to go up under it and unhook the fuel lines, and there's also a wire that goes under it that you have to unplug, and then the whole thing's free. Like, you know, you pull it out from the top, outside of under the bunk, and then but to actually reconnect to it and to make it work again once you fix it, you have to plug it back into that control that you have, or it won't work at all. That control does everything. They may have an extra control at that shop that they can run it off of, but likely they'll leave it in your truck and work on it. So that means the guy's going to take the cover off and try to take it apart as much as he can, or change whatever sensors he can while it's still mounted. But if it's gummed up in there and they have to take it apart and clean it, that's when they take it out. I'll drop a video. A guy did one. And then you can show your mechanic how easy it is just to clean it. But as far as changing the sensors, they have to connect to it with a certain computer that usually day shifts have. So I believe I've covered that enough, dude. I think so. I think we got you straightened out. That's awesome that you get idle, because, you know, that would have sucked if you couldn't do that. So yeah, always remember the cruise control trick. And then here's the other trick too. For people out there who have a company, let's see. I seen it. I ain't gonna keep you any longer, LOL. Okay, no, you're good. So check this out. If you work for a company and you got a problem with your bunk heater, and your company's got your truck set to not idle, and they're giving you some BS about we can't pay for a hotel or wherever you are, whatever the excuse may be, that you might freeze to death, listen to me when I tell you this. First off, you need to get you some pants from Burlington Coat Factory. They're only 10 bucks for snow skiing, and they gather at the bottom. I call them super pants. They're great. They got side pockets, front pockets, everything. Okay, they slide up over pants. So that'll keep you if you're walking. But the other thing is this. This is a trick that I've heard of company drivers doing, and I believe it to be true. Get a hot hands, hot feet kind of warming thing, right? These little things you buy at Walmart, hot hands. One of those will last about 7 hours. Listen to what I'm saying, because this is what I was told, and you can call me nuts, but I don't care. I'm just telling you what the truth is. This is an old trucker trick that I was taught by an old company driver that's been having these trucks ever since they had sensors and all this bullshit that they can shut off your idling. You take that thing and you put it underneath. You got to strap it around with paracord or tape or whatever. On the driver's side, underneath the mirror, there's a temperature sensor. That's where he told me his was at. Now, mine just looks like a little dimple down there. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what he told me. He said if you put it under the temperature sensor, wherever they're hiding it at on the truck, but he said his was on that mirror out there. And he would, you know, put a bungee cord around and hook it to itself around from bottom to top on the mirror and hold that hot hands under the mirror, that it would keep it up to a warm enough temperature that it would idle, same as idling for air conditioner. So for some reason they'll have it where it won't idle under a certain temperature, but when it gets too hot they'll idle it. They're jacking around with stuff. You know, you can go to a diesel doctor and you can have them change the parameters of your stuff and hide it under what's called bonus or something like that. Yeah, I'll be damned. Yeah, I'll be damned, right? I know, right? Listen, if I could just teach everything that's in my head and the internet, we could make some damn truck drivers out of these people one time. all this shit that I've got up here. I'm trying, people, I'm trying. You see me, I taught the dude with the piston in the front of his fifth wheel. It's that kind of shit. It's like, go to the shop and pay $600, or do this and fix it real quick. And this is really funny. These guys, this guy called me the MacGyver of trucking. I was on, I think it was the guy from Rail, his channel, and Raymond Gibbs, and I was on his channel, and they put that comment when I was making comments. They said trucking stuff's the MacGyver of trucking. I put MacGyver with fries because I like French fries. I'm telling you, I'm under the orange arches right now. Let's see, duct tape and zip ties. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. So I was told, like, I'll feel up under there on my mirror that's where he told me was the little dimple under the mirror. I thought it was some kind of drain hole or something. He said that's the temperature. Yeah, it's something that sticks out. That's it. It's not even got a hole in it. That's it. Put your hand out your driver's side mirror roll your window down. Put your left arm outside. Put your hand under the mirror and see if you feel a little dimple sticking out. That's the thing right there. That's the temperature for your truck. Put your hand on it and see if it changes the temperature on your truck. So I'm saying that'll test it. And then get you some hot hands and feet and tape that son of a bitch right up under there, and it will make your truck think that it's warmer outside than it really is. It'll keep it, I think, above 70 or 80 or something, and you can idle your truck, because a lot of these trucks, so that you don't die in the heat, are set up that way, but they're not set up for the cold. The other thing is, go to a diesel doctor and they have the code for your company. You'd have to pay them, but they could hook up to it. They could change the parameters of what it'll idle so you don't freeze to death, because piss on them, it's your life, that's just the truth. And then they'll set it up so it will idle, and they'll hide it under bonuses. They're called bonus files, and when it asks for a report, say make no report, okay, so it won't show report, and then you were never there. So I mean, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? I'm giving it to you. But as far as that little trick, I've been meaning to do a video on that little trick. No lie. It's that little dimple thing up under your mirror. That's your temperature gauge, and you put a hot hands feed on it, tape it to it or duct tape it around, and it'll make your truck think it's hotter, and it'll idle. So, and there you go. You know, they're crazy the way they set these trucks up. They act like they own you, and they're not really saving that much on diesel fuel. I mean, they have found that APU units and these damn bunk heaters cost so much and are such a pain in the ass to keep maintained that a lot of companies are actually removing APU units from their trucks and telling the drivers just to idle. I ain't lied to you. Plus, they smoke like hell. I don't want one next to my truck. I'm in a clean burn diesel. I'm paying $200,000 for a truck that I should be able to have a clean, no exhaust situation, right? And then somebody comes up with blow by under his hood, and I'm smelling that shit. Or he's got exhaust next to me, and I'm smelling that. Or it's a rattle trap and it's loud. I don't even park next to reefer units anymore. I can't stand it. You don't pay me to run a reefer. Don't park your reefer next to my truck. Nothing against people who are running, you know, produce, but you understand it even. Some of them guys, I've heard that they have to run a lawnmower outside their window at their house. No shit. That's a thing. That they can't sleep at their house because it's too quiet. They'll take a lawnmower and idle it outside their window while they sleep, while they're at the house. I ain't making this shit up. Just like I didn't make up the thing about the mirror and the heat thing, you know, the sensor. I'm not making. This is true. So some of these guys have been doing it that long. They have a hard time sleeping outside the truck without the noise. And so there you go. They run a, you know, either a generator or just a lawnmower outside their window, and it makes the noise, and they go to sleep. People from the city can't get used to how quiet it is in the country. It's a culture shock, and it's psychological. You know, part of the reason I put up that thing about, you know, the psychological warfare they did on us in the U.S. with that Gillette ad, that pissed me off. I don't like them using warfare tactics against common people. It's bullshit. But let's see here. I definitely think it needs to be cleaned, because when it did work a few times, I did get a strong smell of fuel one time. Ooh, a strong smell of fuel, that's bad. That means it's putting too much fuel in there, because it should only be a drip. It means it's not burning good either. There's some kind of, I believe, a glow plug to it. But there's, like I said, there's 4 or 5 things that are bolted into it. The rest of it's just mechanical. It's, I believe it's a 3-piece aluminum frame. It's got that fan in there, and that's it. So they can clean it out. They can make it work better. But the first time people start them up, you'll see a lot of smoke out from the back, and then it'll start burning clean. That's the ones that have a lot of hours on them. It shouldn't even be doing that, really, but that's just, it's diesel fuel. Diesel fuel's got a high oil content. That's what I was telling somebody the other day. You could take a gallon of gasoline and add a quart of transmission fluid to it, and you get diesel. So if you ever put gas in a car, you're at a gas station, and you're like, oh crap, this thing runs off diesel, I put gas in it. For every gallon you put in there, add 1 quart of transmission fluid. Shake the car a bit so it mixes up, and then you'll have diesel fuel. So, cool beans, I'm out. Thanks and be safe, people. Yeah, horsefly, I'm glad you got heat, bro. Got you going. That's cool, dude. You know, that's the whole reason I'm doing this channel. This is just alive. This is just, you know, talking about stuff that happens. But look at that, I helped somebody out, you know. Venezuela Music said, bye, horse. Listen, people, I'm gonna have to say bye to everybody. I gotta make a living, and it's been fun. It's been great. But I am gonna have to go. Horsefly put later, Vin. Yeah. And hey, everybody wants to know what the hell's going on in Venezuela. Check out Venezuela Music, because he's got a channel and he's telling the truth, and he's boots on the ground. He's there. He's seeing it with his own eyes. He's telling it. So I have not, you know, I'll get there and be on it. Yeah, Icon, appreciate you showing. And this will go up as a video. And but yeah, they're robbing them blind. They're taking their gold, and I think that Maduro thinks he's going to retire somewhere. That's what I think, and I think he's going to have holla holla 2020. Yeah, so I think Maduro's working on his retirement plan, and I think it's going to be paid for in euros, and it's going to be a company he can't be country he can't be extradited from. So he'll be lucky if that goes well. But kind of crazy, because you would think he'd be buying all kinds of food for his people, not going out into the streets. It was a recent video that I saw on Twitter, that if you're on Twitter, you know, like I said, but I'm gonna put a link to it on here. It's somebody else's Twitter. If I can share it, I will. I gotta make sure I can share somebody else's link, and it shows them dragging people out of their house and just shooting them. So the little light thing came back on again, but they want another comment. So, but yeah, people, let me ride. Y'all stay safe. Keep in mind the trick for the mirror. You know, if you had to, you could use a diesel doctor if they wouldn't work with you and make it sort of idle. And you know, it is what it is, man. We're just trying to stay with our heads above water and our asses above ground. You know, we're trying not to freeze to death, and if a company don't care about you, you could go to the back of the truck stop, get you some books, and find a place that's right. You know, sometimes you got to move laterally to move up. You know what I mean? Thank you, buddy. I am here in Venezuela, and I can tell you, Maduro is worse than what happened to this country. We want him out. Check January 23 videos of support to Guaido. You will see the support. Yeah, we heard there was 800 to 900,000, 700 to 800, 900,000, something like that, people. That's 800,000 or 900,000 people in the streets that was supporting Guaido. And we see the bad things that Maduro's been doing. And see, Maduro is allowing the drug cartel to run something to the order of, I think they said it was something like 22,000 metric tons a year of drugs out of there. So he's allowing it. That makes he's doing everything the drug cartel wants him to do. So that's not right either, you know. And they don't care if people are dying in the streets, as long as they can make their money. They make more money GDP than the entire GDP of Russia. That gold could even be drug gold. You don't know. If the Bank of England has all that, you know, and they can't get it back from them, and then the drug cartels have ships and planes and unlimited resources, they probably bought a lot of gold. It could be that gold, you know. Yeah, they run a cartel called Cartel de los Soles. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. It's Cartel de los Soles. I'll translate for the people who are on here don't speak Spanish. It means cartel of the sun, okay? Or sons. And all of the military generals in Maduro's group, okay, if you call them that, they all have on their shoulders, they don't have stars like a general. They have suns. That shows that they are part of the Cartel de los Soles. So, Cartel of the Suns. They're officers with suns on their uniform. that's what people are saying, is that they represent that. So, hey, don't look at me. I didn't come up with it. That's everywhere. Okay? Es verdad. Porque todos people les habla de esta verdad. You know, it's true because everybody says it's true. You know? But yeah, that is a major, like I said, that cartel's got so much money. They got airplanes, they have an army, they got ships. They can do whatever they want. They can infiltrate governments and put people in you know, with governments and stuff. Kind of crazy. So yeah, I'll tell you, there should be nobody starving in any country anywhere. When people are flying their own jet planes, you know, and they own billions of dollars worth of whatever. Let's see, Venezuelan music put, yeah, that's right, they are criminals. Hehe, cool Spanish, buddy. Yeah, you know, yo tener en la escuela español, y los otros trabajones de yo hay, other jobs I had, you know, and at school, my Spanish too also is Spain Spanish, so it's proper Spanish, and so I have to use a dialect for my Mexican Spanish for my friends from Mexico, or you know, from Cuba. Like, I messed up. I called the dude. It was really funny. Because I'm so used to my friends from Mexico that speak Spanish too, that I called him. I said, you know, orale. It told him, you know, come here. It means like you're up, you know, and like that's a Mexican thing. And he was Cuban. And somebody called me out on a video. I'm like, yeah, well, hey, I make mistakes, but you know, I'm used to the Mexican Spanish more than anything now. But my proper Spanish comes through. Let's see here. Spain Spanish is what it is. Let's see here. Yeah, that's right. They're criminals. Okay, cool Spanish. Let's see. Yeah, because they use country resources for their dirty business. Yeah. Ahí dice, LOL. La próxima te hablo en español. Yeah. So, you know, yeah, where you live. So it's hey, Venezuela, ¿qué sitiamo de tu viven? ¿Qué está la llama de los sitiamo? What city you live in? There was a guy the other night that was on here that was saying that 8 squadrons of airplanes were going from I want to say Brazil to the border. In Caracas. Oh man, dude, you in the middle of it all. Shit, bro. Yeah. Yeah, capital. Oh, I know it's the capital. I learned the song, you know. Caracas, Venezuela, you know, Ecuador, Lima, Peru. Yeah, I learned the song, you know. That took the same thing probably you was taught. You know? Yeah, man. So, yeah, you in the middle of it, brother. God, dog. Best of luck with everything, brother, because that's rough. It's rough to be a civilian in a situation like I said, and they're trying to keep people from being armed unless they join up with that, you know, group that what they call the army. It's you know what I'm talking about. The guy from Venezuela knows what I'm talking about. And they were trying to make people join the army and stuff, but there's that group that it's like a militia that they're trying to get everybody to join, and that's the way you can have arms, but you have to be a part of that group. And that's kind of, you know, yeah. Well, look, man, go ahead and make a comment, and then I got the jet, okay? I really do. I'm gonna go deliver, and I'm going to grab another one and go up to the winter lands. Yeah, they have many. One is militia, others are colectivos. Sí, está los colectivos that I was talking about. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on at the same time down there. There's so many factions, and like I was saying, that they got people going over to Colombia for their stuff. Falles conos. Yeah. Yeah, it was the colectivos, the one I see. I've seen videos of people that have gone down there and done undercover work. Let's see. Yeah, all those are political related. Yeah, I knew about that. Maybe the people in here didn't know about that, but I did know about that. It was political related. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know, everybody in every country wants to support their country. You know, they want to love their country. But when stuff's going on like that, you know, it makes the water very muddy. Makes it difficult. And you know, like I was talking to that guy from Yugoslavia, you know, first they want to say, you know, I'm from, you know, Bosnia, you know, whatever, and you're like, no, you're Slavic and you're from Yugoslavia, and they're like, really, you know about Yugoslavia? That country's no longer. Yeah, so that happened fast, you know. And like I said, I know that Russia has done taken over their mining of all the gold there. It makes the whole thing messed up. So Russia's going to get rich off of it. It's not about the oil. It's about the gold. It's about a lot of stuff. I think it's about the cocaine people down there too, because they're supporting them. We're not. And you know, Trump's trying to stop all the drugs coming in from the border, and they've just busted a bunch of fentanyl. Thank you, man. Yes, and people here are unarmed. Yeah, I know, right? The state took everybody's weapons, so basically they are only armed. Yeah, armed. Yeah, I know, and that's the same thing that Hitler did in Germany before because that's the old saying is, if the Jews had machine guns, the Holocaust would have never happened. You know? That's what Hitler did in Germany, was he disarmed everybody. That was his, well, it wasn't his first step. The first step was to get rid of the, yeah, Venezuelan music put, yeah. The first step that he did was Hitler threw out all the judges. He arrested them, and then he tried to get rid of the Congress, if you call it that. Okay, it was like one house of body of people, and tried to say that he was the leader supreme. That's what they want to do. And then when they're leader supreme, but see, that Juan Guaido was in that group of parliament in Venezuela, and it's like, wait, this looks just like what Hitler's doing. No, you ain't gonna do this shit here. I'll stand up, because he knew he might wind up dead anyways, and so he stood up for his country. So people can say what they want. He was the leader of the damn parliament thing there. It's called a, well, Venezuelan music, you could tell me the name of the parliament, but it doesn't matter. It's a parliament. It's a group of, you know, people that's, yeah, I can't call it a Congress because we have a House of Representatives and a Congress. So we have executive, which is, you know, the president, legislative, which is the House and the Senate, and then we have judicial, which is the court. Well, some countries just have a leader and then just have a group of individuals, like a parliament, like England. So that's why I'm calling it. Yeah, the National Assembly, and he put it in Spanish. So Asamblea Nacional is the way he would say it. So yeah, the National Assembly. It's a parliament because there's only one group of it. That's why I call it a parliament, because their National Assembly is just one group of people, and that's all you get. You get that, and you get the president. So, and they do have judges, but it's not like, you know, I don't think they have like a separate, you know, whole different entity that has a third of the power. So the leader of their National Assembly, okay, is Juan Guaido. He's not just some unknown person. He was in the political process. Let's see, and he stood up for his country from being run over from that guy trying to take supreme leadership. They are the ones that make the law, so basically they are the most powerful institution. However, government pass over the law. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to go by the laws of their National Assembly in that country, and the president can't just write himself into having more power. They would have to vote on that and stuff. And so, like I said, you can't usurp power. No, that's okay. Sorry about the, he put sorry about the miswriting. I am using a Spanish related dictionary. No, your English, dude, I can understand it and I can say it, and none of these comments will show up when this makes a video. So your English is just fine for me, and I'm translating what might get messed up, and it's perfect. Your English is perfect through that, you know? But I gotta get off this thing. I'm gonna let you go. Listen, if you wanna make a long comment, Venezuela, you can put it on this video or one of my other ones. Make as many as you want. I'll let them through if they're by approval only. If they're set up like that, I'll let them through when I can. Maybe, I think I left a few of them open. Go for it, dude. Blow up the page. It's not gonna bother me because look, your boots on the ground. You got better intel than I do. Tell it. I don't care if you make a comment every damn day. I don't care. Make it, you know, and I'll let it through. So, but I will be coming off this now. I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm gonna get to work, but you can make a comment on this as long as you want. You can make as many comments as you want. And anybody says anything to you, they can kiss my ass, because you're telling the truth, because you're sitting there watching it and you're seeing what's going on. I'm just reporting on what I see that already has made the news. Yeah, cool, man. He okay, then I see you later. I'll write on your video, buddy. TVM, okay, I'll keep you informed. Yeah, for real, and I'll sub to your channel. People, I gotta get off this thing. Anybody else wants to say anything, I'll give you a couple seconds, you know, make a comment, and then I got the jet. Real glad we helped somebody out with that heater, man. That makes me feel better about the whole thing. And the Venezuela guy that I helped him, you know, with the other video and putting the info out. I'm on Twitter too. So guy from Venezuela Music, check me out on Twitter. You need to go on Twitter. They put a lot of stuff up on Twitter if you're not already there. It's called Truckin' Stuff. Truckin' Stuff 1. At Truckin' Stuff 1. Yeah, I got your icon. And then I'm gonna get down the road. But I got my French fries. Y'all know I like French fries. Look, I didn't know if I told y'all that or not, but for real, look, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna give y'all an inside scoop, a little intel. Let me show you something real quick. If I can. I wasn't lying. Look, I'm under the arches, people. I'm for real, I'm MacGyver with fries. That's what I told the guy the other day. So, yeah, you know, it's one of the things where you see the arches, you gotta stop, you gotta get them fries, you know. So, anyways, see if I can put this back over here. I wasn't joking. And I'm trying to avoid getting hit half the time because these people, they come to this parking lot and they cannot back for nothing. So, I'm gonna go try to make $1. It's gonna be ice and snow, I don't know. But we can work with it. I've got chains, I got good tread. I've got the brakes that stop if I don't, you know, that's just like on the Mercedes. I've got, you know, 8-wheel drive and I can hit the switch. People talk about 4-wheel drives. I got 8-wheel drive, you know. And I've got anti-slip, that's a automatic thing, and I've got ABS, so don't worry about me, people. But I would worry about that dude that he's backing into. That's pretty tight. It gets crazy, you know. That's what makes it difficult to the truck stop. You know, you never know when you're gonna get hit. Like this, it's getting dicey over here, people. Look, I'll give you another view too. That's what's going on here. You know, every night we watch this stuff every night when they're backing into stuff, and you never know what's going to happen next. That could be you in that truck. Hope it's not you. But you know, it's like they back up till it sounds expensive, and that's the way they teach them nowadays. He ain't got out and looked yet. So anyways, what can you do, right? People, I'm gonna get down the road. Dude from Venezuela, it was nice to meet you. Icon, get your back. Everybody, hey, I had some fun. Like I said, if you want to debunk me, I hope you wrote down the call sign for the flight, not for the airplane, but that was a flight registration number is what it was. It was not a call sign, a flight registration number for the actual jet, that secret jet that flew first on Sunday to Russia. Okay, buddy, take care, see you. Yep, dude, I'm out. we'll catch y'all on another night. I'm gonna name this Operation Hot Biscuit, and I'm gonna hashtag in front of that Venezuela, and I'm gonna put secret plane, because I changed that thinking that that's why I didn't get through. But have a good one. I'm glad I helped to do with the